Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to do a kind of talking head video, so I just have a little bit of gameplay playing in the background. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this year's Citcon and what it's going to mean for the game and for the community. So, a lot of us know that at the end of the year, last year, CIG kind of called 2024 the watershed year for Star Citizen. And they had a lot of big plans to deliver most of what they showed at CitizenCon last year. And a lot of members of the community have been doing a lot of comparisons and seeing what they actually wanted to deliver this year and what they have so far versus what they have an opportunity left to deliver with 4.0 now in Evo Cardi. So I think that this is a good opportunity to kind of step back and take a look at the bigger picture here and see what the game can look like moving forward in 2025 and what the impact of this year's Star Citizen can have on the game. Last year's Star Citizen CitizenCon had a huge impact on the game. A lot of people came to the game, and you guys can look at the progress tracker with how much money they're making this year, and we're kind of on track to have another financially record-breaking year. And that's a good thing because a lot of new people are coming on board. And some of the things that attracted a lot of people from last year's CitizenCon were these big demos, right? Star Engine demo and the Squadron 42 kind of inside look where they updated a lot of the graphics and people kind of got an idea of what CIG was trying to do. This year, I feel like they're really planning on expanding on that, where we have panels like the Genesis panel. I believe that will be CIG showing us more of the Star Engine tech. And that's going to be big and very important because a lot of people kind of ask this question: what's taking CIG so long to make this game? And a big reason why it's taken CIG so long to make this game is the tech. They had to build up a lot of the technology to make this game a reality. And a lot of people have been making these comparisons with the newly, announced Halo Studios. They really struggled in the past being a tech company and a game company. So it's pretty obvious that gamers, we want good games, but to be able to push the tech, to deliver some of the things that a lot of these studios promise, they need to do both. They need to be able to make good stories, art, gameplay, but they also need the technology to be able to back up what they're trying to deliver. So they really, when it comes to the entertainment medium, a gaming studio has to be a jack of all trades, and the studio itself has to wear many hats. And being a technology company and a gaming studio, that's not an easy thing to do. So it's taken CIG a very long time to kind of get to this point. So now they need to sell the audience, sell gamers, the players, you all watching this video here, that they have the tools right now to actually deliver on their ideas. And it's not just snake oil. Now they actually have the tools to make this happen, whereas in the past they didn't. So that's really, I think, one of their goals in changing the perception in the community, in the larger gaming community. Again, the Star Engine demo, it really impressed a lot of people who don't really know that much about gaming technology, kind of asking the question, okay, why can CIG make this whole seamless game? And then you compare it to games like Starfield, that has a lot of loading screens. That Star Engine demo kind of really poked at that kind of issue, that making a big open seamless game like this is not something that's easy. So you really want to dive deeper into that and kind of expand on that technology. And here's what CIG is going to do during this CitizenCon. And then they go into a lot more stuff, okay? Obviously, Squadron 42 was another huge draw last year's CitizenCon, because Squadron 42 has a lot of major actors in it, actors and actresses. It's going to tell the story of this game. I think I saw something on Reddit recently where, somebody was talking about it was some kind of meme, and there was a comment. Somebody asked, Star Citizen has a story, kind of question mark, and it does. Star Citizen does have a story. There's a lot of lore in this game that builds out the worlds, the planets. If you take a step back, a moment to read the signs, and there is a lot of depth that makes this universe seem a little bit more lived in. But again, you really have to take a step back and really look at those things. You don't get that full picture on the day to day. So having a single player story campaign really paints the picture for players, for people who are interested in this game, what this world is, who are the characters involved in this gaming universe, and like what's at stake, who are the enemies, and we'll be introduced to the Vanduul, the most aggressive alien species in this universe, and the ongoing conflict with them and the United Empire of Earth, the UEE. And that is going to tell the story of this world. That's going to bring people in on a deeper level. Again, a lot of people are just, I feel like they look at Star Citizen as just the generic space game, right? It's not really a world like Dune or Star Wars. They don't really see it like that. They kind of see it as, okay, generic space game number 3, And I feel like Squadron 42 is really going to introduce a lot of the concepts and a lot of the players in this universe, again, like the Vanduul and the UEE, that people can actually grow attachments to. Maybe you think the Vanduul are cool. Maybe you think the UEE is cool. And so people being introduced to the story of this world, again, is going to help them gain an attachment to it that they don't really have as much right now, because there aren't those story elements, there aren't those story beats where people can really imagine themselves in this world on that level that they can in a story driven game. And so I think Squadron 42 is going to be another big factor. And so then another thing, they're planning to talk a lot about base building and crafting. Okay, so this is going to be them, giving you a picture of you cutting a slice of the pie for yourself, carving a little niche on a planet somewhere in the forest down by a river, your little space cabin, so to speak, where you can make a home for yourself, and it, presumably be persistent, and you can go back to this location whenever you want, and this will be all yours. And then crafting something for you to work towards and build up to a goal at the end of the day in this game. It's an MMO at the end of the day, and MMOs, they have crafting, they have base building, they have these things that will drive players to want to play the game more, to be more invested in the things that they have in this world. I mean, otherwise you do a couple of missions, you have fun, and then you walk away. But you need things that kind of keep you glued to the game, reasons to do things. And there are going to be players like me who we just like being in the world. We like being in the game and spending time and doing mundane, monotonous things. Not everybody's like that. There are a lot of players that need more motivation than that. And so I hope that in a panel like that, I think CIG's intention anyway is to give those players a little bit more meat on the bone for them to engage with the game in that way. And then you see it with the ship panel. We're going to apparently, based on certain leaks, have some more base building ships during this panel that give us a glimpse into how we're going to do those things. And then at the end of the entire con, CIG is going to talk about their final vision for the game. What is Star Citizen? Okay. A lot of people, when you talk to them about this game, they ask, what is there to do in this game? What is it? And this is a fairly fair question to ask. Uh, when it comes to simulation games and survival games, you look at something like Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's pretty easy to see that this is it's a simulation game where you fly planes. And something like Assetto Corsa, it's a simulation game where you drive cars. Star Citizen is not really a simulation game where you fly spaceships. It is a little bit more than that because of the MMO aspect to it. So I think that this is CIG's opportunity to really nail down and define what this game is, because you have to remember, it's changed a lot since the original Kickstarter that a lot of people kind of call back to or fall back to. There are a lot of people that like to, talk about things that CIG has said 7 and 10 years ago, because that's what they know about this game. Okay, so when CIG talked about a lot of that stuff, that was partially what the intentions were for the game. Some of that stuff were promises, things that they absolutely wanted to do, things that we need to hold them accountable for. But then there were also things that were said by developers that were simply just things that they thought would be cool to put in the game. And there's a lot of gray area in between where the player base doesn't really know what is set in stone and what is a cool idea that the devs wanted to do. And so this is CIG's opportunity to say that this is absolutely our intention for the game. This is the game that we're trying to build. This is the game that we want you guys to play. And there are going to be some people who are excited about that and some people who might actually be disappointed. This is going to be the take it or leave it moment where CIG is saying this is our 1.0 beta, this is the minimum viable product, this is us moving from, okay, this is a proof of concept, a kind of technical demonstration of what we're capable of, the game that you're going to play, to the final vision for what we want the game to be and what we're working towards now. And then after that, it's going to be kind of like a live service situation where you have the 1.0 beta, and then maybe they release new star systems as expansions, content that might not come out as frequently as the patches do now, but you have a kind of whole new arena, a new fishbowl to play in, a new star system to get involved in, and that's them continually to make the game. I think that that is going to be a huge draw for a lot of people, because people who are sitting on the fence, people who are waiting for this game to be good, they now have not just potential, but they have something to look forward to. Okay, and that's the biggest thing about this game, is that it's been kind of going by on its potential for a very long time, potential of what it could be. This is going to be CIG's opportunity to tell the player base what it is, and that's huge. So I think that this year's Citcon is going to have a lot of eyes on it, but more importantly, its potential to go mainstream after this, I think, is huge. Now, will it? I think that it's not really positioned that well to go mainstream during this Citcon because of where 4.0 is right now. Obviously, if 4.0 was in our hands earlier, CIG would have had more time to polish it up and get it ready for the free fly event during IAE, where there would be more people on the game. I don't think it would be a great idea to have 4.0 released during IAE this year with a free fly. That would introduce a lot of players to probably the worst state of the game possible. And when you have a lot of people, you don't want to miss that opportunity to present. Like, you want to put your best foot forward. Like, first impressions, they last a long time, and that's why so many people know Star Citizen as what it was back then. A Kickstarter game essentially. But it is so much more than that now. But they still have that first impression. So I think that ultimately CIG is probably going to stay with PTU, Maybe they go live in December, but definitely not the Free Fly event. I think 2025 is going to be that year where a lot of people take the game a lot more seriously. I don't think 2024 is going to end up being the watershed year for the game. I think that, the developers, they were very ambitious at the end of last year, and there was a lot of momentum coming off of last year's Citcon. And I think there's going to be a lot of momentum coming off of this year's Citcon. But it's really going to come down to how can they capitalize on that. Yeah, it was a lot that was promised, and I think the devs, they really worked their butts off trying to make it happen, and you can see it in the updates. The they're working on it. There was kind of a little bit of drama with CIG potentially working 7-day weeks. And I don't think that's, too surprising. There are many industries that, once in a while your boss will tell you, we kind of need everyone on this specific project to pitch in. I think that is potentially reasonable. And of course, there are, accommodations for that where employees can get paid time off and overtime and that type of thing. So I think that CIG is really gearing up for this Citcon. They want to put their best foot forward, and I think that kind of means that, we're going to see a lot of stuff this year. But, let me know what you guys think. This was a little bit shorter video. I am more likely not going to be streaming or anything covering this year's Citcon. There are a lot of amazing content creators that are planning to stream the event and make content and videos for it. I definitely suggest you guys check those guys out. At the end of the day, I'm a content creator, but I'm also a player, a backer, a fan, whatever you want to call it. And I definitely want to, sit back on my computer, grab some snacks and watch the live stream and chill out. But I will be back on Monday to talk about all of the juicy details and stuff that happened at the con. So you guys are going to want to keep your eyes peeled out for those videos coming out all next week, talking about the panels. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me again. You guys have been amazing in the comments. I love having these discussions with you guys. So I'll see you down there in the comment section. And like I always say at the end of these videos, you guys, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salute.